Hey everybody, I thought I would work on my Kirby Rosanes Fragile World coloring book today. It was a tough decision to pick which page I wanted to do because they're all so beautiful. But I finally decided on the Snow Leopard. And I think I'm going to also do another cat. I forgot which one it is, but it's the one in the water. But I just wanted to tell you a few of the facts that I found because the thing I like about these books is that he shows in the back of the book, if you go all the way to the back, you can find the page that it tells about each of the animals that he features, and they're all on the vulnerable or endangered list. So snow leopards are on the vulnerable list, and it's page 6 and 7. I think I'm just going to do 6 with his head because I also wanted to work on which one was it? I think it's called Amur Leopard. It's swimming in the water, and I think he has a few of them in there. Let me look and see if it's the one I wanted. No, that's not it. Okay, now, sorry. Anyways, maybe it was a jaguar, which is near threatened. It's on page 34. 34. But I'm gonna do both of these at the same time. Not at the same time, but I'm gonna work on them simultaneously. Yeah, this is it. 34. And see, he's wading through the waters, and that was the jaguar. It's a particular jaguar though. It's I have to find it again. Oh, jaguar. South America and the Amazon. But this one I'm working on today is the snow leopard. And I just wanted to tell you read the little information that he has in the back of the book. And then I also found a really nice website. It's called bigcatrescue.org. And I'll put a link to that if I don't forget in the information. But it says right here, snow leopards are found throughout high mountain ranges in Central America. As snow leopards are top predators, without them, the ecological balance would be disrupted. The main threat to their survival is the expansion of human settlement. Herders with livestock to protect kill snow leopards, but they are also poached for their fur and their use in traditional medicines. Climate change threatens the leopard's chances of survival too. Rising temperatures result in shrinking habitat and increased competition for food. So they are on the vulnerable list according to this book. But I don't know when he, I mean, it could have changed since he published this book. I'm not sure when that was, but anyways, here's the picture that I want to do. I need to move some things. I have to like move things around to get the camera just right and all my supplies and things that I'm using for the projects that I'm working on. The bigcatrescue.org website says that they are also known as the ounce, or ounce, I don't know how to pronounce that, or ghost of the mountains. And they are, it says vulnerable on here. Estimated population is between 2,710 and 3,386 mature individuals. And the range is 12 countries across Central Asia. They can remain reproductive in the wild up to age 15. And then it says miscellaneous. This species, like the cloud leopard, is one of those that is somewhere between the small cats and the great cats, in that it can't purr like a small cat, the small cats, and it can't roar like the true great cats. It makes a happy sound similar to the tiger's chuffing, and then you can listen to the chuff, the noises that it makes. It hisses and snarls and all the different sounds that it makes. You can listen to it on that website. The appearance, excuse me. Snow leopard is an evolutionary masterpiece of high altitude adaptation. Its thick, smoky gray coat is decorated with dark gray rosettes and spots, providing near perfect camouflage against the jagged, rocky rocks and snow of its mountain home. To survive the extreme cold, these cats possess a dense, woolly undercoat and a large nasal cavity that warms frigid air before it reaches their lungs. So I thought that was excuse me, I had to take a drink. I thought that was a interesting little, they have a lot more information if you want to check it out, but I thought it would be important to know, exactly what they look like. So they have smoky gray coat, and I found a few pictures on some other websites that I want to use as a if I can find them. They're so pretty. I found the one that I wanted to use. Their eyes are kind of like a light gray, or kind of like a sandy, I don't know how to describe it. I found two different pictures. I would say like a light gray, blue gray, or they can be like a light tan color, but I'm going to make mine gray because I like that. Anyways, so today I think I'm just going to work on his eyes and his inner face, maybe. And maybe over here a little bit. I'm left-handed, so I have to be careful of how I do the direction I use when I'm coloring or doing anything really. I'm a little ambidextrous, but I'm not good enough to color or draw with my right hand. So where do I want to start? Where's the light coming from? Sometimes when you're doing these coloring books, it's hard to distinguish where the light source is coming from. I guess maybe, well, that's dark, so I picked out a few colors. I'm just using Scholar Prismacolor Medium Cold Gray, and this is not the best, but oh well, it's okay. I really think I need like a black for, or maybe even a dark, really dark blue for the pupils. I wasn't thinking of that when I grabbed my pencils, but maybe, I don't know. Now I'm trying to find one. Something that's dark enough. I just got Oxford Blue, which is my art and fly, and I think they're pretty good. Pencils. Hopefully it'll work out. He's already done so much shading in this book, and I'm not used to that. I usually do my own, you know. So I have to I don't really like to cover up his shading because I like, as an artist, I like all the hash marks, and so it's kind of, see, this kind of drawing, you would normally do a watercolor, but you can't with colored pencil, or a, you know, a colored pencil adult coloring book, because they don't use heavy paper. So it's kind of a challenge, I guess. I need like a really light, clear blue. And I'm not sure which one I want to use. And I unfortunately, oh, on these I need to, I'm gonna put this underneath, so I won't get harmed. I'm trying to find a like really clear, extremely light color of blue. This, it's not sharpened though, so I'm gonna have to sharpen it. And this one is called, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's German, I guess. Brutfuner. Number 20. So I want to do like, I want to make sure that I leave enough white reflections. Because there's usually more than one reflection or light spot in eyes. That's really pretty. I like it. Neighbor's dog's barking. I don't want to make them too dark because they are quite light colored. I wish I hadn't made that one color. Maybe I can lighten it up a little with the, I have this Tombow Mono Zero little eraser. So I'm gonna like try to go over that. I think I pressed too hard. I looked up to see if I could find any other, but maybe I didn't use a good search engine to find one. Anyway, it's okay. I'm just gonna press really, really lightly from now on because I don't want to cover those markings. They're so pretty. I can appreciate all the work that went into doing the drawing. Because other adult coloring book styles, they're usually a couple of different styles, and I've never done one with a lot of shading already already done for and put into the drawing. The problem with using lighter colors is they contain a lot of white, so it makes it more opaque instead of transparent, and so then you end up covering up the marking. Wow, all the dogs in the neighborhood are going insane. It sounds like. Okay, that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? So I use this one for the blue part. Have to remember to do it really lightly. And I'm gonna go over it with the gray, the light gray. This is, I think the Scholar 1, 2, it's a Prismacolor pale gold gray, 368. And then I also want to use the same colors in his coat. So I think if I can find a dark brown, I don't have all my pencils here, right here, so I have to go find them. See if I have any. Use. It's been so long since I've colored, I have to kind of get back into the, the groove. I also have this old makeup brush. It's like really cheap, so if I have any crumbs, I can just brush it away. I did find some brown. I'm not really sure of the quality. It's probably cheap. But I'd have to go like really dig around for my other stuff, so I guess it's just gonna have to do for now. Because it does need, if you don't have black, you can always use really dark blue and dark brown together, and that creates a pretty good black usually. I'm looking at a picture, that's why I'm kind of hesitating, because I want to get the colors right. And when you're doing something like this, you want to start out by using the lightest colors first, I think. So I'm trying to figure out what... There are some, like, it's kind of like a warm color. It's a warm gray in the coat. That's not a cold gray. So what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of this Monarch Milk 067 around the ears, because with the picture, the photograph that I'm looking at, it has that color around its ears, like right here. The artist, I'm not sure if I like all of this. I mean, it looks cool, but see, I have to put green in there because he made him look like he's part of the landscape, the mountain, you know, and I like it, but at the same time, I have to get used to the idea of putting something green right by his ear. I think it's pretty cool the way he did that. Unique. Instead of just making it hyper realistic, which, you know, hyper realistic is okay for photos, but not for artistic drawings and paintings. I mean, although I do think, I mean, it has its place. It does have its place. Don't get me wrong. I'm really, like, astonished and amazed at the skill, because not everybody has the patience or the skill level to do a hyper realistic drawing. Let's see here. I'm trying to so his face has a lot of white around his mouth, and this is white on the photograph with some dark right there. And then I don't know. I had it in my mind that I was wanting to do pet portraits, because I like animals, and when my cats passed away, I wanted to do something artistic. And I really wanted to make some kind of a sculpture to keep their ashes in. Something unique, you know. But I don't have a kiln, and I'm really a homebody, so I'm not really somebody who goes out and finds places that I can go to do stuff like that, you know. It'd be fun, but I'm shy and I'm just an introvert, so it's hard for me to get out of my shell, I guess you could say. Anyways, I bought this really neat composition notebook for my dad because he told me that he likes husky dogs, and it has a husky on the cover, and it was one of his Christmas presents, like I think 2 years ago, and he wanted to make it into a painting, but he was having trouble because his dementia had gotten to the point where I don't think he could paint anymore. It was sad, really sad to say. So he tried, and he knew that he couldn't do it anymore. So I was trying to encourage him, you know, to gently encourage him to try, even if it didn't look great or whatever. I mean, I didn't tell him that. It's just, he knew it. So he gave up, and then I decided I was going to sketch it out for him on the canvas. So I did, but I used charcoal, which was kind of a stupid choice because when you use charcoal, it smears. I should have just used a colored pencil, which is what I normally use on my paintings. And so by the time he was working on it, the drawing had smeared, so he could no longer distinguish, you know, my drawing, you know, the drawing that I did, and I felt so bad. And I was like kicking myself mentally, thinking, you should have used a colored pencil. And anyways, he never finished it. And then after he passed, I decided to do the painting myself in honor of him, which I did. And I taped myself, but I need to edit it. And you guys know how much I complain about editing. So I'm gonna try though. And then hopefully I can use it as a launching for, you know, in case anybody sees my video and then they like my style, then maybe they can hire me to do a pet portrait of their animal, what, cat, dog, rabbit, lizard, you know, whatever they have, bird. I'm just going over this dark part with the dark blue. And I'll probably go over it with brown at some point. That's such a beautiful cat, man. Really beautiful. There's a lot of gray, light grays, different colors of gray in there. It's almost like a sandy, warm gray. That's what I want to say. And I'm not sure if it'll show up on the video, but because light colors don't really, you can't really see, so I just I'm trying to do my best. It's not, maybe not really exciting. So here's this brown. I'm not really too happy to use it because I know it's a cheap one, and I kind of like to use my better colors, better quality colors on the better quality coloring books. Not to be a snob or anything. But let's face it, some people use better quality and some people don't. Paper is what I'm talking about. Oh, one time I had the opportunity to go to a wildlife artist's I don't know what you call it. Those like the most famous wildlife artists all around the world. And oh my goodness, I am so glad. This was several years ago. I was at the Raymond James financial building. I can't remember. I think it's in Clearwater. I can't remember exactly. Clearwater, Florida. So, they had paintings like this, and they were just stunning. And we could talk to the artists if they happened to be around. And I was usually just too shy to say anything, but I would, other than complimenting them and saying how beautiful the work was. But I'm just using like this really dark blue. It's called Oxford blue. Let's see. I need to go dig out all my other colors. I've just been kind of lazy, and I also couldn't decide. I really wanted to do that other one, but I love this one too. So it was just like so hard for me to decide which one I wanted to do. But anyways, this is the one I picked. So this is the one I picked. I'm using a really, really light touch on here because I don't want it to be turned green, because I already put the yellowish cream color on there. And I just want to put, because this is kind of a grayish blue. It's doesn't have, I don't even know what, it's like a generic brand. I have a lot of generic brands. I just find that the more colors you use to build up an area, the more interesting it looks. So if you just use one or two colors, it doesn't look as wonderful as it could possibly look. If you know what I mean. You guys might already know all of this, but just in case you don't, that's just my opinion. When it comes to watercolor, they say not to use a lot of different colors because it makes it look muddy. So I guess you just have to experiment until you finally find the sweet spot for you. This is great therapy though, because it just helps to relax you and calm you down, and so you can concentrate on something that will help take your mind off things. How's it look? I'm gonna do these spots like dark blue and brown. And then once I find the black, I probably will try to go over that too. I really want to move somewhere different. I've always wanted to move out to the country because when I was little, it was in the early 70s, and I don't care how if people know how old I am. I'm 55 years old, but it was during a time when there's inflation, and my parents decided that in order to feed all of us, because we had a family, a very large family, I'm one of the youngest, so they figured if we moved out to the country, you know, it would be easier and cheaper, and then we could have our own garden, and my mom grew her own, well, we grew vegetables, and we had like raspberries and strawberries and what else? Green beans. But my dad built a pantry, really nice pantry, down in the basement for her, so she could do some canning. I don't know what color this is. It's called artichoke, but it looks gray to me, so that's what I'm gonna use. And I loved going down there and looking at all the cans neatly lined up on the shelves. And it was a fun time. But after my divorce, I thought I would really like to get back to that lifestyle. But being neurodivergent, I didn't realize that it actually takes a lot of money initially to do that, to get back, or to you know, to buy a house out there, buy land. And so I've just always been trying to figure out a way to get back there. Never did. Even thought about, you know, joining a commune, but I'm such an independent person, it's hard. Because in this country, we've been trained to be hyper independent. So it's hard to shift your mindset. Where did I put the brown? And I think it's almost too late for me to do that because I don't see anything getting better anytime soon, sadly. But see, I don't like living in suburb or in neighborhoods. My dad, he did the best he could. I'm not faulting him for anything, but he moved into a neighborhood with an HOA. And then the houses are extremely close together, and I've got noisy neighbors. They're noisy. And then I've got a nosy neighbor who likes to know what I'm doing. An old man that I don't like. So I just want to get out of here. Because when you're doing videos, you have to either have a very quiet environment or you need to dish out the money for a soundproof room. And I just don't have the means to do that. So it's a challenge. He's got a pretty streak down his forehead. I had a beautiful Himalayan baby kitty. Oh, I loved her so much. Well, I loved all my cats, but she was special because she looked like this. She had those beautiful light blue eyes, and then she had this pretty smoky fur. Gosh, she was gorgeous. But she had, we got her from, she was a rescue, and she was at, I think PetSmart is where we got her. But she was abused, poor little baby. But she had renal disease, which is kidney disease. And I didn't know it, but I think I still would have got her, even if I had known it. It just would have been nice if I had known, because then I could have had a heads up on what to expect, you know, when she got sick, because it was devastating and traumatic, because I'd been divorced for I think two years when I found out, and she died when she was only 7 years old. So we got her, my ex-husband and I got her when she was just a kitten. And so I had to go through that alone, her being sick. And my mom was there. Thank God my mom was there, because she loved the kitty too. And she went with me when we had to put her down. And I will never ever, I mean, I guess I should say never, but I prefer not to go to a vet to put, because that was the first time I had to put a cat, any pet down. I just thought I was doing the right thing, but the look in her eyes, I'll never forget it. So the kitty that I had after her, I mean, I had them both at the same time. He lived to be 19 years old. And he was a Maine Coon type. I mean, he looked exactly like a Maine Coon, but he didn't have papers or anything. He was just, I found him, and he was a kitten when I found him too. So he passed away at home, and that's what I prefer. But if they're in pain, you know, I think they now have vets that will come to your house and put them down if need be. So if they're in pain, you know, I'm just going to have a vet come to the house, because I'm not gonna, because she just looked so terrified, and she knew what was happening to her. Poor little baby. But so I don't know why my mind, well, I got to talking about her because she looked like this cat, this big cat. I don't know if you guys remember, if you looked at my Marie Trolle adult coloring book page that I did. But the kitty in there, I made to look like Koneko. That was her name. And it means little cat in Japanese. And she was a cutie. Gosh, she was cute. I'm just kind of picking out different colors. This one's the Scholar Prismacolor in mauve. It's like a light lavender. I have to... This cat I'm looking at, for a reference, it doesn't look like this one here. So I'm kind of having to just use my own thoughts and ideas on what to do. If you're using like a yellowish color and a blue, it could possibly turn green. So in order to correct that, you can just use brown on top of it, and that's what I'm intending to do. This video is probably going to be extremely long, but you guys can always go back and, because this is what I do, when I get tired of watching a video or I have to do something else, I just pause it and then I go back and watch the rest later. because you just can't hurry when you're doing creative work. I mean, you can, but it's just not fun. I like trying to do things so I enjoy them. Anyway, yeah, this cat I'm looking at, the underlying fur is this creamy color, so I'm just gonna basically probably try to do, and then there's some white spots like right down here, and then on his chest, and then back here. But on this drawing you can't really see the white, where the white spots are, so it's okay. I have to sharpen every now and then to get the edge back on there. I'll try and darken up some of these areas. Let's see. Make it gray, grayish, brownish, bluish. I don't know. I think I'm going to use try and use like a darker bluish green in here. As a as a nod to the part of the country that these cats, you know, snow country in Asia. or anywhere. They have the really dark deciduous, I think that's what they're called. Deciduous trees and bushes and I need green. A good green. I think, where are my greens? Oh, here's some. I have, let's see, peacock green, grass green, emerald. So I'll try and use these. I can hear my neighbors, so I probably won't be doing this much longer because they bother. The one that I don't like, the old guy, the stalker. I hear him out there. There's a well, yeah, right there, there's a tree. So, yeah, I don't like old men, especially when they're interested in me. And they're married. Yeah, it's like a gray, a greenish gray. That's weird. I'll use it on here too. Because I want to take that brightness out. Knock it back. I guess that's the term. I hope that jerk, excuse my language, that evil old man over there doesn't hear me. And I want to add some brown in there too, just because it is a tree. need to add something like to do the highlights on the tree. Kind of blend that brown that I just put on there in there. And then I'll just go over this creamy part with this light gray. That looks pretty good. Around his eyes is like lighter. I think I should have took that into consideration when I'm just gonna kind of go over this dark areas that I have already done with this, kind of blend it in with this lighter gray. Hopefully it'll work. I want some of the colors to show through though too, because I think this kind of, it's like a fantasy drawing. It's good to have like unexpected colors in there, like the lavender, to make it, you know, like really, you can have fun. Oh, that's looking pretty good. Happy with how it's turning out.